Viper is a big car now. It's punching a big hole in the air. So at some point, do we see the 66 car give up the position to our Portugal All-Stars RX-8 and let them do some of the work? Is it going to be beneficial for the Viper to continue to punch the hole in the air in front of that RX-8, which is probably going to be better on field than the Dodge Viper ultimately at the end of the day here? Interesting what we got going on here in the mid-pack right now, but definitely not battling. They're just taking it easy here for the time being. And early on in the stint, smart strategy, and it seems like, we'll keep an eye on that time gap. What is 7th to 6th place? It's a minute 33, so let's see if we start to see any gains from these two, if we start to see them battle here as we continue to roll through our field. That takes us to our defending champions here this season, the number 1 car they do. We're in the Dodge Viper in the Daytona, 24 Hours of Daytona here in our first round of racing. They have opted to make that car change to that Porsche 992, so that is what they are driving here today, and they're currently sitting in 9th place here on the racetrack. So a little bit of a tough day here for the defending champions, but there's still a little under 2 hours left, and anything can happen in endurance racing. All right, that takes us now to the number 54 Mercedes, and that is my team esports EMG, and it looks like we've got a couple of those cars here on track, or I may have looked at that earlier and it's just stuck in my brain. But coming down the mountain here, one of the most crucial parts of this racetrack is these couple of sectors here. They're very tight, they're very narrow, they're very sketchy, especially as your tires start to wear down and you start to wear down. Fatigue sets in as a driver, and just a lack of concentration could really create a problem. But a nice run there through Forest Elbow and onto the Conrad Straight there from the 54 Mercedes, currently 8 seconds in behind the esports Race Asylum team here in that Porsche up ahead as well. So got some good close gaps here. We might see some great battles here before the end of this race. Yep, you betcha. We will most certainly get there, my man. We've got a Jelly Racer right now here in the other BMW here on the field. And I believe that is the Elite Racing Squad BMW. Without seeing the number. No, that's the other one, 27. My bad. Inferno Motorsports. My apologies to the team. We're still haven't quite memorized numbers with team names yet here this season. We'll have it down for sure by the end of round 3. For sure. But it's 13.3 seconds in behind 10th place, so not an insurmountable gap as far as this Mount Bathurst is concerned. That's one tap to the wall, one little smack of minor damage, one little miscue, and I have to make a big save and lose 3-4 seconds. That's all it really takes here for racers to give up that very important little bit of cushion that they have here. So anything can happen here, even at 10 to 20 second gap at Mount Panorama is not an insurmountable gap here at the end of the day, regardless of the classic caliber driver on the racetrack. Everybody makes mistakes. So that takes us to our Sector 7 racing car here. The Blazers team this season, the number 7 car here, having a bit of a tough day. They did have a mechanical issue in the last stint and are now suffering a bit of a time penalty due to that, and that has placed them down into 12th place here, 21 seconds in behind the Inferno Motorsports BMW here. So we'll see how our GTR keeps getting along here. And again, not an insurmountable gap here. Anything can happen. I mean, racing is racing. We got Shadow Chef here in the Audi, and this is the only Audi here in the field currently, and that is QRT Esports. And you can see they're in a blue flag situation here with our 73 car, so they are going to navigate that here before we get into the final chicane here. Great job by the 64 there just to let them through, and they will continue on their way with their own races here. Tough day here for the 13 car here as well, and of course our last place car here, our 14th place car, the Feel Good Racing team here, having a bit of a tough day in that Dodge Viper here today as well. Also suffered some mechanical issues earlier on in the race and set them back here a little bit, but they've got that 303 car back out on track here, and they want to take that checkered flag here today. So all 14 cars still rocking and rolling on this racetrack, and you just never know in racing. You cannot give up until the checkered flag waves, and that is just the way it is in racing, because anything can happen, ladies and gentlemen. So back to our race leaders, still maintaining that 1.5 minute gap. All right, so we're going to do some quick checks here. Everything is all crazy now. All right, rock and roll. All right, we're live in the IRO channel again, so we're not going to make any more changes to the stream. We are just going to leave this public. If anybody's sitting on the GT45 Gaming YouTube channel right now watching the race, please do head over to the International Racing Organization YouTube channel. Check it out from there. Get the full package deal with the International Racing Organization. Don't forget to drop a sub and a like while you're there too, everybody. Appreciate you all. Let's keep rocking and rolling here as we are with our OVO Esports number 111 Porsche. Absolutely just in charge here over the last half of this race especially. And, well, looking good, looking good. You know, if I'm the crew chief right now in this paddock, you know, everybody's adrenaline is starting to pump, you know, everybody's already starting to imagine the end game here, but we still have a long ways to go before we get to that end game. So now, you know, if I'm the crew chief of this number 111 car here right now, ooh, a little bit of a touch there on the wall. Looks like, you know, you're just telling them to take it easy, hit your marks. There's no need to over push here, and you know, you got no pressure. You got no pressure. Nice and smooth. Keep the rhythm. Bring the car home, right? That's all you got to do at this point. So, you know, if I'm the crew chief right now with the leading team here, that's probably what I'm relaying to my driver for the most part. There's probably not a lot of radio chatter between the crew and the driver. The driver's locked in right now. Nothing crazy is happening, but definitely pushing hard here right now. Maybe looking for a fast lap point, perhaps, but definitely using every spare bit of racetrack here this lap. Anyways, it seems like as he continues down. So. Moving and grooving, chat. These guys and gals are moving and grooving. What can we say? It is an absolute treat, irregardless of who is where on the racetrack, to watch racers of this level compete right here with us, the community, and against us, the community. It absolutely is a blast. It's a blast to watch. It's a pleasure to be a part of, and really makes for some great racing. I mean, we're 12 hours into a race here right now, arguably one of the tougher circuits in endurance racing, probably worldwide. And I mean, our gaps aren't insurmountable. I mean, first place and second place is a healthy gap, minute and a half. Great job to that team here so far. But I mean, we got Apex Motorsports here, only 23 seconds separating him in third place. I mean, 30 seconds only separating third place and fourth place. After a little over 10 hours of racing, those gaps aren't that bad. You know, that's like a 5, 6, 7 second loss over 2 hours maybe per stint. So it goes to show that the pace is quite equal out of these drivers for the most part, and one mistake can really make a big difference. You know, one mistake at this caliber could cost 5 to 10 seconds as opposed to maybe 2 or 3 seconds, right? So these gaps, not as huge as people may seem them to be. 19.4 seconds completely. That's one half spin around or a spin around by a car in front here, right on their rear bumper, potentially even making a pass depending where on the track it is, you know. Minute and a half gap here between 6 and 7. The pack starts to spread out a little bit here, but again, anything can change here. 1.2 seconds between our Portugal All-Stars team and the GT Finland racers here again as well. You know, again, I don't think they're battling here. I think they're trying to work together. I think they're just trying to utilize each other's strengths and weaknesses with each other to try and just maximize their efficiency out of their cars. And again, if it's working or not is yet to be determined. It was a minute 33 last time we checked. It's a minute 34 currently at 6th place. So I mean, it's maintaining the pace right now of the race, I guess, essentially. ERA's Jakey here is 12.3 seconds. The number 1 car here, I can see taillights of something up ahead there, but I believe that is going to be a blue flag car up ahead of the number 1 Porsche here as he heads up the mountain straight here. I run through the other, please, you betcha. I'm just going to switch one of my devices over to YouTube. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, so I can monitor the chat. Okay, so we got 2 live YouTube channels going here right now, so we just want to make sure that we can see everybody's comments, of course. There it is. We are multitasking today, ladies and gentlemen. We are working it. All right, rock and or roll. Let's keep this going here. All right, so we got 2 chats going on, so bear with me here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be rocking and rolling through them both here. All right, so again, Esports Race Asylum, Jakey here. My team AMG here, my team Esports 54 car here. Kipso? Blue flag situation going on here, so we got somebody within 2 seconds of our 54 Mercedes here right now, coming down near the downhill section or through the downhill section of the mountain. And as he comes out of Forest Elbow in the Conrod Straight here, let's see if we can catch a glimpse of who that may be in behind him there. So it's going to be coming out of that corner right now. Nope, camera crew is not going to cooperate with us here. That's all right. That's all right. We'll just keep moving and grooving here. All right, I lost my cheat sheet now. That's it. I ran out of devices. Our OVO Esports group here. Let's go see if we can find anything really resembling a battle here right now. Really, that 7th to 8th place position here, I guess, is kind of the key thing here right now. These are the closest two racers on the racetrack at the moment. They're only separated by a mere 1.5 seconds at the moment. But right now, the Viper seems to be just a little bit better than the RX-8 Vision in behind here. So interesting to see that we have a couple of teams opting with that R8 Vision, that RX-8 Vision here so far this season. It's going to be interesting to see how all the cars perform next round of racing, if we're going to be honest, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the post-race part of the stream here. So welcome back, everybody, over on the International Racing Organization channel here, as well as we still have plenty of time left remaining in this race yet here. We're looking at, about an hour and 40 minutes, give or take, with the amount of laps that are left here. And this hasn't really been a battle that we've been kind of keeping our eye on here in the mid-pack. This has been more of two drivers kind of trying to work together to maximize efficiency here, but it looks like the Viper now has decided that, yeah, you know what, I don't think we're going to pull the RX-8 along anymore. I think he's going to have to work for it here. So they kind of open up that gap to the point where you're breaking Slipstream here now, and now the RX-8 is going to have to kind of work his way back into that Slipstream to get the free pull, especially with the power of that Dodge Viper. I think that's definitely a key thing for that RX-8 to stay close on that big straight to Conrod, especially there, is to be within that slipstream of that Dodge Viper, because, I mean, it's a beast in a straight line without a question of a doubt. Alright, cheers to our race producer and our race directors this weekend as well. It's been a tough behind-the-scenes weekend as well. So, you know, cheers to everybody. Keep the wheels moving here. That's all that matters. But the important thing is we got great racing happening here at the International Racing Organization, and one way or another, the viewers are going to see it. So. Alright, so we got a blue flag situation going on here. I'm not sure what this is all about exactly. I've seen a little bit of headlight flashing coming from the 303 Dodge Viper here on Apex Motorsports. Now, I'm not sure if they just didn't like the blue flag past me. I have no idea what was going on there, or maybe it was just thank you coming from the Porsche that we just missed and a response coming from the Viper in behind. It's all speculation, but interesting. You know, good timing is everything. You can always just make a story out of timing sometimes, I suppose. But it looks like the Viper has a pretty good pace on the 23 car here, actually. So, we feel good racing here. And again, a little flash of the headlights there. So maybe the Viper thinks that he's faster than our second place car here currently right now on the track. And as he comes up the mountain straight here, he wants to make the pass. I think that's exactly what we're seeing here. It's just a little bit of communication, headlight communication from driver to driver. You know, it's a kind of a universal racing code, so to speak. And that's exactly what we're seeing there. The Viper's signaling that, hey, I think I'm faster. I'm going to make a pass here, essentially, right? And that we see no resistance here from our second place car. So now the important thing is here is the 303 car will have 3 laps to maintain essentially a 1 second, 2 second gap. Essentially getting rid of the blue flag, ideally, waving in between the cars. So that would be a little over 2 seconds in the game. But I believe that the ruling in the rule book is 1 second. So he has 3 laps now to open up that gap and maintain at least a 1 second gap in front of the Apex Motorsports Porsche here. And if he can do that, he'll be fine. If the Apex Motorsports Porsche continues to apply more and more pressure, however, on that 303 Viper and remains right there on the back door, there may be a call made by race officials to give that position back to the second place car remaining behind. But again, that is per IRO regulations and rules for the season. So it is okay for you to unlap yourself. If there's any questions about that, especially if you're somebody new to the championship in the series, yes, you are allowed to get a lap back. You are allowed to pass as a blue flag car if you can maintain the pace on the lead lap car that you are passing. So as long as you play within the rules and regulations of course, the racing body here, it's all good in the hood, and that was all legal what was happening there, and it already looks like that our 303 Viper currently right now is definitely a little bit faster than the Porsche there, and it hasn't quite broken that slipstream yet. We don't have an accurate, obviously, indication in between the two cars here in Gran Turismo 7 to tell us exactly how far apart they are, but based off the distance, you know, we're almost have that slipstream broken. By the time we get to the end of the mountain straight here, I think by the end of the Conrad straight for sure, barring no big mistakes in the mountain there, that Viper should be clear and free within that first lap of making the pass. So good job there by the 303, great recognition, a great communication as well between drivers on the racetrack there. The teams are not in communication with each other behind the scenes, for as far as I know. Maybe some are, but that was all just driver to driver communication right there. So that was some great racing right there by those two cars, even though they're in a different fight, in a different battle currently on the racetrack, so to speak. You know, it's they're out there working together, still trying to again maximize the last little bit of time left on the clock. We're starting to see nighttime creeping in. This is going to be a little bit of a game changer here as the track's going to start to cool down now. It's going to be good for the condition of the tires under the car. However, with that being said, with the racetrack cooling down, but it is also going to make the racetrack very unpredictable, very slippery in sections, and the drivers now need to be aware of the changes that are happening underneath the dancing shoes of their race cars here this weekend. So our Alien Motorsports Mercedes currently up into 4th position here right now, and this is where the dark, sleek, black paint job comes in with these guys. Maybe they're almost invisible here, but I mean, think about it, man. You can turn the headlights off in that Mercedes, you'd never know it was coming. Never know it was coming. Alright, our elite racing squad, I believe this is, without my cheat sheet now. If I get it wrong, I apologize. Is currently sitting in 5th place here. That gap is about 27 seconds, so they've lost about 2 seconds, I think, to 4th place so far here in this final driver swap. And I mean, everybody just seems to be on pace with each other right now. We're not really seeing any big gains or any big losses. I think the biggest loss right now is really kind of that battle between our 7th and 8th place cars here. But as I say that, we see the Portugal All-Stars car right there back in the mix with the 66 Dodge Viper, the GT Finland Racers again. And I mean, hey, these boys are the show right now. We got 2 car lengths separating these two guys as we head up the mountain here right now. So a little mistake made potentially by the 66 car, or just some really good gains by the what is that, number 4 car, I believe that is, for our Portugal All-Stars team here. Moving and grooving. Some great racing coming here from these boys right now on the racetrack as we head through Skyline down the mountain. This is always an interesting part of the racetrack. You just never know what's going to happen here. There's not a lot of room for a car to be spun around on this part of the racetrack, especially with traffic in close quarters as well, right? So yeah, you always hope that everybody just gets through nice and tidy and without any real big oopsies. But great lines from both these racers here as they come up in through Forest Elbow on the Conrad Straight here. And I mean, the Dodge Viper obviously is probably going to hold off the charge from the Portugal All-Star team here currently as we're up to Conrad Straight. I mean, that's just sheer horsepower right there behind on that V10 engine in this race car. So it's going to be done under braking here if the number 4 car is going to try and get anything done through these technical sectors to try and make something happen here on the 66 car. But we're going to sit with this here just for a couple more seconds here, and we're keeping our eye on 2 chat, so I apologize if I missed something. Let's go Team Apex Motorsports. Hey, we'll get back to the front pack here in a little bit as well. And pit stop strategies might play into effect here as well. Tire combination choices and all these things obviously could change this race quite a bit as well. But this is a great battle here. We'll give our Portugal All-Stars a little bit of love here. And let's jump on board with this number 4 car here as we head up the mountain straight and kind of watch their perspective of this battle right now for 7th place with the 66 car. It's going to be a little bit louder because we're in camera or in car, but this is what it's looking like on the mountain here from the driver's perspective right now. Now you got to think in mind, we're kind of getting it without the visor view. These guys are wearing racing visors, so their vision is cut in half of what we're seeing here as well, right? So they're really relying on radio communication, spotting, and their instincts and what they can see around them and what they know about their surroundings, right? A little bit sloppy coming through the first part here, and that going to cost them a little bit of time in behind that 66 car here, but again, racetrack's cooling down. It's going to start to get slippery. Both these drivers dipped some tires on the edge there coming through Skyline, and here we go again, back down through the mountains. Absolutely fun racetrack. Scary at nighttime here, but these guys are sending it. Very, very controlled, very, very concentrated right now, and great job here from the number 4 car, staying in as tight as he can to this Viper. Needs a huge landing out of this corner because the Viper's just powerful. He gets power down fairly early there, mid-corner, maybe even a little bit before there. We had a little bit of wheel spin, had to kind of check that up, but again, that power of that Viper just so incredibly strong over this poor RX Vision concept here. So again, let's see if he can close it back up coming into the chicane here and heading into, I believe it's Murray's Corner at the end of the racetrack here. I'm a little foggy on my corner names. Whew. All right. So again, you know, a great battle here, and if the number 4 car can just get tighter into that slipstream, up that Conrad straight or up this mountain straight, you know, it might just give them enough to be able to slingshot an inside position to get a pass done there. But then you got to try and hold that thing off in a straight line. So I mean, they got some. This is a tough battle for the number 4 car, in my opinion. I mean, they're really going to have to rely on picking the right moment or using strategy to get in front of that car somehow and utilize the strength of their car. I mean, they're also driving in dirty air a little bit here, which might be cause and effect of some of the sliding we've seen from that car in that onboard view around the racetrack as well. Plus the fact that they're pushing hard, they're trying to stay close. But that's been really good for the number 1 car here for the eSports Race Silent Porsche here as well. I mean, that was about 12.5 seconds, I want to say 10 minutes ago. Last time we kind of really went through the field and checked on things here. Now the eSports Race Silent team here, currently being ran by Jakey, is only 9.8 seconds in behind. So about 3 seconds gained here over the last 10 minutes or so on the mountain. So doing a pretty good job here at managing his pace and his race here, trying to move up the field here as well. Again, the ERA number 1 car is currently 3rd in standings coming into round number 2 here this weekend. The 54 car here, the My Team Esports Mercedes, and was going to start to get hard to see deliveries here pretty soon because I did not realize that we probably should have made a slight adjustment to that as we were going, but it's all right, we'll make it happen. All right, so we can hear that Mazda coming somewhere here on the mountain, so that means it's somewhere within proximity, potentially even right in behind here right now. It's interesting. We have the field a little bit mixed up here. We've got, whoops, we meant to go to our 27 car here from Infinite Racing. Is it Infinite Racing? I think so. Infinite Motorsports. Inferno Motorsports. All right, so Jelly Racer, Gel, I think it's Jelly. Currently sitting in 11th place, 13.3 seconds in behind that number 54 Mercedes. And whoop, we got our number 12 car here, the Sector 7 Blazers GTR, currently sitting in 12th place, 16.3 seconds. I can't remember what that time gap was, but I feel like they gained a little bit of time here. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, sometimes the keyboard does not want to play nice, and I wanted to go to the 13th place car here, and it just shot me right to that defending champion car here. I swear, the game is rigged sometimes. I don't know what to tell you guys. I swear I pressed the 13 key. I don't know. Has a mind of its own sometimes. All right, so Shadow Chef here. Again, the only Audi R8 here on the racetrack, and currently sitting in 13th place, has a minute-and-a-half gap to the Feel Good Racing team, who's had a rough day here today as well. But I mean, they're still moving. They got these cars still running here, and again, like I said, all 14 teams here looking to take that checkered flag here today in our Feel Good Racing. Dodge Viper here. This was the Dodge Viper we've seen go over and ahead of the Apex Motorsports' Porsche there a little bit earlier, and it looks like that they've easily broken up that gap there, and potentially maybe closing in on somebody else up ahead there as well. Not sure who that is, but they're moving and grooving right now, it seems like, here in that number 303 Dodge Viper. So It is our race leader, and it looks like they are coming up to blue flag traffic here in a minute 36 overall lead here. So gaining some time on the field right now is our number 111 car, the OVO Esports Racing Team here, and in control right now here as we lead into pretty close to hour number 11 here now. We're getting there. We're getting there. And it is the 13th place Audi here, so was just kind of waiting to see who it was. Obviously, we had to wait for a little bit of light to be shown on the situation here, as it is getting very dark on the mountain here. As we head up the Conrod Straight, I imagine we're going to see this transition happen leading into the braking zone. Oh, the Porsche goes a little bit wide. Oh boy, that is a big mistake right there from the 111 car here. And a minute 36 gap is going to diminish just like that. So that's all it takes here. And we just a little bit of misjudgment on the car placement there. Maybe a little bit of a reaction as it was going around the Audi there. But a critical error coming there from our first place car. And we're going to go take a second look. And of course, our replay does not go far enough back because I tagged it just a hair too late apparently. But end result has to get out of the sand. Very fortunate it didn't get stuck in the sand there. Did have enough momentum to get the car back on the racetrack there, but not fortunate enough there to have given up some of that very comfortable lead. Now we can see that pit stop as we can definitely confirm that there's a little bit of rear aerodynamic damage on the leader's car there. And all of a sudden that 1.5 minute gap is significant. We're going to see why. So the next question is, are the Apex Motorsports team aware of what just happened here up in front? Obviously, as somebody was paying attention, they definitely seen the just recent pit stop made by the race leader, but we can also see they're just coming out of Forest Elbow right now onto the Conrod Straight. So, I mean, they still have a solid 30 to 45 seconds to get to the pit entry or the end of the lap period. So, I mean, it should still be roughly about a 1 minute, maybe a 50-second gap, I believe, between first and second place. But that 1.5 gap pace maintenance is crucial for exactly that reason right there. I mean, you can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, like I said, these stories are not written here yet. There's still a couple chapters remaining, and we're going to watch them unfold in real time. So, and that's just, you know, another part of the story here for the 111 team here today, and maybe a little bit of complacency there, but again, it just it looked like a misjudgment or maybe just a little overreaction of where that Audi car was, and he got himself into the grass and got himself into trouble there. So lots of momentum coming around the kink right there, especially on the outside. You have tires starting to wear down a little bit with the slippery racetrack, and there we go. I mean, whew, scary moment. So a minute 7, so exactly 30 seconds there. Basically that they gave up 31 to the Apex Motorsports team. So that's a chunk of change right there, and that's what I mean. That's why I say 10 to 20 second gap here at Mount Panorama is nothing. That's a mission for a driver still. It's like, all right, let's see how we can close that gap up, because if something like that happens, that's a position potentially gained right there. And although it's still a minute gap there for the 111 car now, that's it's a wake-up call. You know, it's got to get the adrenaline pumping again, and you got to get control of that. You got to get back into your rhythm now, and just, you know, get back to those good, consistent laps. You still got a cushion. You're still okay. Scary moments for the 111 car right there, that's for sure. I believe this is number 20, or number 73 BMW. Right, Elite Racing Squad. Took a minute for it to click. We almost got it memorized already. Alright, so 5th place driver here. I mean, 31 seconds still the gap between them and Alien Motorsports in 4th place, who we literally just skipped over, because like I said, if they did not have their headlights on, you wouldn't be able to see this car right now. It would be completely pitch black. I mean, turning the exposure up is not going to help for this livery for anybody, just for the record. I mean, this thing is like pitch black. It matches the night sky currently right now. Yeah, that is, it would just disappear on this racetrack with the headlights and the taillights out. It would just be a ghost in the mist of Mount Panorama. So Alien Motorsports here currently in 4th place, 26 seconds from 3rd place. So I think they've chipped away about 5 seconds actually from 3rd place here over the last little bit. So it seems like they are getting small gains there towards the podium. But, I mean, the clock's ticking at this point with, like I said, about an hour or so left here in the race. Time's running out, you know, the clock is now against the racers here in a sense. So this battle back between our 66 and 4 car, let's get back to this battle here again. I apologize to our 6th place car. We'll get back and get you some love here in a minute. Go get him, go get him, says the chat for 2nd place on 1st. Love that, a little bit of motivation from the fans. Got to see it. So we got a good run here from the number 4 car. Number 4 car is only a couple car lengths, maybe even less in behind the Viper this time around the kink. I mean, this is potential here right now for the number 4 car. So let's see what happens here. And he is so tucked in. He almost gave a little love tap there to the Viper. And the Viper breaks free just a tiny, tiny little bit right there. Coming on the exit, but does manage to keep it underneath there. And as we head into, I believe this is Murray's corner, Hell corner. I think it's Hell corner. I think the first corner is Murray's corner. I mean, these cars are separated by a car length right now, so very, very close battle here now. And it seems like number 4 car is really trying to make something work here now. Let's stick with this here for the lap, shall we? I mean, juicy. We love juicy. Nighttime racing at the mountain. It's a beautiful thing. No better way to challenge your racers than the last couple hours in dark. Again, so hard to maintain that really tight distance through these mountain sections here. Dirty air definitely plays a factor, and like I said, the Dodge Viper is a pretty large car, so it punches a pretty large hole in the air. So the dirty air in behind that car is going to be aggressive, and the RX really relying on aerodynamic force to really get it around the racetrack quickly. You know, relies on that clean air, and when it's stuck in that no-fly zone of air, it doesn't necessarily want to cooperate quite as well. So you gotta just back off and try to get a little bit of clean air and time that big run, that big exit. And here at Mount Panorama, it's definitely coming out of Forest Elbow into the Conrod Straight is where it could matter the most. But the Dodge Viper getting a good run there this time through Forest Elbow into the straight here, and is not going to have to be concerned about RX making a move here coming into the corner this time. He can just stick to the racing line and continue to try and break that gap. So again, still really great racing here between the 66 and 4 car GT Finland racers. But there we go. It is a pit stop here now for the 66 car, and that will put Portugal All-Star Racers here in 7th place. So different strategies coming here from the racers, and some clean air here for the number 4 car. So let's see what he can do with it now as he's lost that slipstream from the Dodge Viper. Let's see if it is going to help or hinder the time around track here for our number 4 car. It'd be interesting to see. All right, we got number 54 car coming through here, and it looks like we got some variable strategies happening here in this final stint. We're going to have some early pit stops here, it looks like, and we're going to have some pit stops in a few more laps here, it looks like. So our basic strategy we've been seeing for the majority of the day is going to come into play, but for some of our teams here, it looks like the strategy is going to be slightly different. So going to be interesting to see how all that plays out now between the 66 and number 4 car, because I was really shaping up to be a juicy battle right there, but now currently separated by a pit stop sequence here. And now our 6th place Elite Racing Squad car BMW here is also in, so just actually coming out from the pit stop here, and does look to be a scheduled pit stop coming from the 73 car here. So Elite Racing Squad now out on their next set of skin and X amount of fuel in their racing cars for their next duration, however long that may be. Alright, so over probably the next 10-15 minutes, I guess we're going to start seeing that pit stop sequence. Interesting. I'm not sure if that's some change strategies from some teams here or not. Again, I missed the first half of the race due to time. But we've been watching the last half of the race, so we got a good sense of what was going on in the last half of the race here. But the first half of the race, when all the good stuff was, we weren't really fully here for. So we're not quite sure what happened at the beginning of the race this weekend, but I know it's been a pretty good battle, especially between 3rd to 5th place here for quite some time. And again, that mid-pack, as always, mid-pack's always fighting. That's what they do, mid-pack life. Mid-pack life is always a battle. Alright, so the gaps, with the exception obviously of the mistake from the number 111 car there, 30 seconds lost to Apex Motorsports team here. I mean, not a whole lot has changed. Actually, Alien Motorsports is closing in on our number 3 Ferrari here, and I really, for the love of God, cannot remember the name of this team for some reason. I can't see it, so SOL, I guess. Alien Motorsports here, the 999 Mercedes in 4th place is gaining. I mean, they were at 26, now they're at 22. So another 4 seconds gained over, that was about 5, maybe 6 minute period there. So they are chipping away here right now. So, interesting strategies. All right, so we have Italia behind the wheel here right now for, I'm not sure which of our, this is our Project 1 Racing Porsche here. I can tell by the fluorescent green livery here, and they are currently sitting in 5th place right now. So 51 seconds in behind Alien Motorsports and about 33 seconds ahead of the 73 car, which we just seen pit. However, with that being said, Project 1 is going to at some point make a pit stop and give X amount of that time back. So they may be very close once that sequence transitions itself. We got our Portugal All-Star team here now in 7th place. Due to the pit stop from the 66 car there just a lap ago. ERA Porsche here, the number 1 car in 8th place currently, and same thing with the pit stop of a driver up ahead. This car right here, the 66 car, gaining a position, but we skipped the 54 Mercedes here, the My Team Esports group. I think I got that right. And they're sitting in 9th place and looking pretty good here right now. So our 66 car coming out there after the pit stop in 10th place only has 1.8 seconds actually ahead of Inferno Motorsports here in Jelly Racer right now behind the wheel of the car. So interesting. We're going to key in on this here for a moment. And then we got, I believe it's the 303 car of Feel Good Racing now in behind Inferno Motorsports here as well potentially. So lots happening here. Maybe it is the 60. Nope. Whoever it is going into pit lane. It is the Feel Good Racing car, so we were most certainly right there. Alright, where were we? I think we were here. Here? We were here. We were on Jelly. Alright, so these gap gaining here, Shadow starting to gain time. Obviously, just came out of pit lane, so going to be on a fresher set of tires here, without a question, without over the BMW in behind here. So, Jelly Racer here is just going to try and close that gap, or do the best you can to keep up for as long as you can at this point right now, until it is that they make their service stop, and then we'll see, wherever they end up. Again, I'm trying to get to the GTR Sector 7 Blazers here, the number 7 car, currently being pirated by Geesh, rocket and rolling. 16.5 seconds, so really hasn't gained any time on Inferno Motorsports here in the last little while, but maintaining the pace with that BMW up ahead. So doing a pretty good job there after the mechanical repair that they had to make in the last driver swap stint. We have Shadow Chef here behind the wheel of the Audi. I can't remember who the team name is now. Look at me go. And Feel Good Racing here. Blue flag waving. Not sure if that's them catching somebody or one of their lead lap cars. Looks like one of the lead lap cars is catching them. Which one that is, I'm not sure. But back to our race leader here for a moment while I catch up with the chat. Alright, so very collected. Looks like the 111 car here, you know, even after the mistake and having to make the pit stop there, it seems like they've settled right back into the rhythm here, and again, just controlling the pace of the race. The distance is being a minute 30 now, is a minute 9, and they're chipping away. They're opening that gap ever so slightly currently over the 23 Porsche Apex Motorsports here right now, but it is currently sitting as a different set of top 3 finishers here right now, as the race stands currently in its state with an hour left to go, to have 3 different podium finishers over the Daytona 24 last racing round. So that is definitely, if the race remains to stay like that, is going to shake up the point standings quite a bit, and that means taking us into round 3. It's going to be fairly close, probably, I want to say, through the top 8 to 10 teams in the split division. So I think if the race continues to stay on pace of the way it is and where some of the drivers are, we're going to see a big shake-up in point standings heading into round 3. All right, Alien Motorsports here, 19.6 seconds in behind our third place team here, and is losing a little bit of time there. So I'm not sure what happened, if they made a mistake there, but they've given up about 3 seconds of that very, very hard-earned time on this Ferrari here right now, up in third position. And boy, I can't remember which team that is right now either. All right, we could probably... I hate doing that on live, though. All right. So now only 4 seconds separating the number 4 and the number 1 cars here on the racetrack as well. So ERA number 1 Porsche is chipping away here at the number 4 Portugal All-Star team here as well. So this is very interesting. I mean, the ERA team has been chipping away at the gap of the number 4 car here for the whole duration of this driver's stint here so far, leading in towards the end of the race. But now he's got that within, well, a little over 5 seconds currently as it stands, but we did see it as low as 4.6 seconds there when we came to check on this situation here. So the number 1 Porsche is definitely working hard here right now to close that gap as much as possible here, probably leading into their first set of pit stops. P&R damage. Let's go take a little look, shall we? Doesn't appear to be, no. No, if there was and they were forced to make a pit stop due to it with where they are in their pit window right now, they would have most certainly made a full strategic pit stop, I think, there. So definitely I don't think there was damage there. I think they got fortunate with whatever happened there. Apex Motorsports definitely opening the gap on third place here, and Alien Motorsports starting to close the gap back up on third place here. So potentially something happening to the Ferrari here up in third place as well. And I hate that I can't see the number on the car right now because I can't remember the name of the team, unfortunately. But maybe if we sit there just long enough, we can get a good enough shot on the driver placard in the right part of the racetrack here. It's definitely not going to be this part. It was almost that part. Almost got a glimpse of it. I can't remember who this team is. I feel so bad. I got 2 teams I'm struggling to remember at the moment. Oh, come on. Come on, camera guy, work with me here. Don't make me do it. Well, I'll have to catch it in pit stop. We'll definitely be able to see the number of the car on the pit stop, and then it might click. I feel like I know it. I feel like it's right there, but it's just not clicking at the moment. So we'll let them continue on around the track here and get to their pit window, and then we'll be able to see what we're looking at there for some reason on the 224. There we go. Perfect. Great timing right there. NWR Motorsports, right. And QRT. I don't know why I can't remember those two. Come on, grind it into the head, Ghost. Get it in there. Don't know what it stands for, but it's NWR. Thank you, I appreciate it. Do appreciate it. I almost got it down. I'll have it down packed by next race for sure. I almost. Oh, what do we got going on here? There we go. I mean, this is a blue flag situation, but we got Project One racing car on. I don't even know which BMW it is. One of the BMWs. Number 6, maybe. It might be a 6th place car here. Alright, I'm going to take that up through the mountain here. It does seem like BMW is pulling on the Porsche here a little bit, so I think the BMW potentially may be a little bit quicker at the moment here. So maybe that's what we're seeing here, because I guess you kind of would have thought that they would have given it up in the mountain straight there, but at the same time the number 20 car wasn't really that close yet, so they were still kind of within their like don't have to give it up range. Oh, what do we got going on up here? We got a yellow and blue flag waving here, and oh boy, bottleneck time here heading down the mountain, and things are going to get a little bit interesting potentially. We better get our button fingers ready, because we got lead lap traffic mixed in with blue flag traffic here. Now we got the 66 car involved in this here now with looks like the race leader, the number 20 car, and I believe that's a 73 car up ahead of all of this. So this is turning out to be an interesting little ordeal here. So let's keep an eye on this, which I believe that's the race leader there. The race leader maybe looking to get around there. Think? No, it's number 2. It's the Apex Motorsports Porsche here. That was in behind this group, closing in here as well. So great job there by them to get around that first Porsche. Now they got to work their way around the other 2 cars here as well. So deadlocked in traffic right now is Apex Motorsports Racing, and that is not ideal for them as they're trying to close that gap up to the race leaders. That's definitely not where they wanted to catch up to this group of drivers here on the racetrack, hard battling in a very tight part of the racetrack there, and having to really make informed decisions on where they're going to try and navigate this situation. I mean, we got that blue flag battle happening just up ahead there with Project One Racing here as well, trying to work their way around. I believe that's a 73 BMW. I mean, see, the 73 BMW looks like it's absolutely just checked out here now, so. Oh man, it is so interesting right here. I believe that's the number 10 car. Is that the 66? All right, let's go to the GT Finland Dodge Viper here right now, as he's right on the bumper of, I believe that's a 73 car. Whew. Things are getting interesting. We love that, but I mean, that's what happens on the mountain. You just end up in those bottleneck sectors. It creates some, it can create some interesting scenarios. Oh, we've lost the Audi. It looks like we have lost our Audi here down to 13 cars, and we see the Audi now officially off the lineup here on our live timing. So unfortunately there for QRT Esports, it looks like that is going to be the end of their day here today at the 2026 12 Hours of Bathurst from IRO. That's super unfortunate. We hate to see that. We love to see all our racers come across that checkered flag, but unfortunately that's just the way it is in racing, and tough one for them. But you know what? Long racing season. Round 3 is a whole new round, and I suspect that round 3 is somewhat going to favor their car currently. So again, we'll talk a little bit more about round 3 post-race, but race leader still minute 9 gap currently here, so OVO Esports in control of the race. One little hiccup there about 20 minutes ago there. They had a little moment getting around blue flag. Car lost control of the car, picked up some damage, had to make a pit stop, but still minute 9 here to the good over the Apex Motorsports Porsche here as well, currently sitting in second place. They've done a great job at opening the gap to third place. Now a minute 2 to Alien Motorsports currently in third place. So the 999 Mercedes now has jumped ahead of the NWR Ferrari here. And but again, this is kind of pit stop sequences are changing things up here a little bit. So some interesting strategies at play. So again, our NWR car, 224 car, pardon me, is sitting in fourth place after a pit stop. There we got Project 1 Racing number 20 car here now making a pit stop. We see the, I believe, 73, yes, the 73 BMW go ahead there. Now he is right on the rear bumper of our Feel Good Racing Dodge Viper there, up in currently sitting 13th place. Now I can't remember exactly what the gap between Feel Good Racing and QRT Esports was, but roughly about half the racing stint left. That should potentially be enough for them to jump ahead of QRT Esports in the overall race finish here on time today. So they're looking good to potentially finish up in 13th position here today, and that's why we said at the beginning of stint number 6 here, driver stint number 6, you never give up until the checkered flag waves for all, because you just never know what's going to happen in racing. Cars break. I mean, that is just the way it goes. In our case, in digital racing, internet connections break is 9 times out of 10 the cause of the issue, but it's no different than a mechanical failure, so we just call it a mechanical failure. Alright, so number 20 car comes out in 6th place. They're only 15 seconds in behind the 73 car there, so we'll be keeping our eye on that gap, obviously. Now, we've got the 54 Mercedes, My Team Esports here, minute 47 in behind Project Racing there. The GT Finland Racing Squad here, the Dodge Viper 13 seconds in behind them. And ahead, notable, ahead of the number 4 Portugal All-Star car by 12 seconds. So the 66 car gaining time there in that little sequence of pit stops. But in 10th place here is the Sports Races on number 1 Porsche. Now a couple of drivers up front have yet to make a pit stop here, so we're going to see these numbers fluctuate a little bit. We'll see, I believe, the ERA go into 9th place and number 4 car up into 8th, and number 66 back up into 7th at some point here in the next few minutes. But notable mention is the number 1 car here now right on the doorstep of the number 4 Portugal All-Stars RX Vision here. So as we continue up the mountain straight here, heading into the mountain entrance, this gap is 0.8 of a second. That's almost about perfect distance right now for that number 1 Porsche to continue to keep some good clean air underneath the front end of the car, get the bite and the grip they're looking for in and out of the corners, and try to make up that distance coming back down the mountain, heading into the Conrod Straight. The acceleration point of the 992 versus the Vision Concept, I'm 100% unsure of. I couldn't even begin to speculate which one is better, but maybe we'll find out here in a lap or two, as we're going to continue to watch this battle here between our defending champions, Esports Race Asylum number 1 car and the number 4 Portugal All-Stars RX Concept here. So we love battles. We love battles, don't we, folks? Second gap here as we head up into the kink here, and as we head into the chicane. I don't think that the number 1 car is quite close enough to make a move here, but we'll have to wait and see here. I believe that they're just going to try and close up the gap under braking here, but boy, oh boy, I tell you what, that number 4 car is not having any of that right now. It just keeps that distance between himself and that number 1 car. and they're going to make them earn that. They want this position. That number 1 car is going to have to find a way to close that gap and get their way around that RX car, but they're the number 1 car gaining right there at car lengths coming out of Hell's Corner. And as we head into turn number 1 here, Murray's Corner, I mean, gap is 1 car length between the 992 number 1 Porsche and the 4 RX-8 Vision here. So great racing coming from our defending champions and the Portugal All-Star team here as we head up the mountain straight into turn number 3 and enter into the mountain. Gotta love it as we get into the quarry and cutting section. Very difficult entry section here, very tight, narrow. You're surrounded by walls. You got some undulating corners as well, off-camber corners in a sense that really tossed back into the car around on you can really get you into trouble quickly. You got to really be careful and on point when you slam that loud pedal down here coming up the hill, because it can very quickly ruin your race day. So once you get through here, you think it's all easy peasy. Well, it's not. Now you're in a more high-speed sector and you got to navigate longer twisting runs. You're still surrounded by walls with a little bit of grass, and it can just make things interesting. And then we come around the corner into Skyline here. This is a fast entry, 150, 155 miles an hour. Hard on the brakes as we head back down the hill, popping down gears, getting ready for the absolute drop off of the kink here as we head down into Forest Elbow. And then it's still not done here. You got a sharp downhill S corner coming up. You got to get hard on the brakes. You got to roll through the corner, not get too greedy on that exit, because that wall will make you pay the price, and then get the big launch up this very, very long and fast Conrod Straight. It's an absolutely fantastic racetrack. And that was a great run here from the number 4 and number 1 cars. This is absolutely fantastic racing by the two. And boy, oh boy, the heat is on here. The number 1 is tucked in. They're positioning themselves to go for the pass here. An attempted defensive move there for the number 4 car. And he is going to stay ahead of the number 1 car there. It was a half-hearted attempt there, I think, by the number 1 car. They gained a little bit of position there. A subtle movement from the number 4 car to try and take that midline defensive line there. Realized that the number 1 car was there, and I think that they just played nice through the sector there and going to battle it out here again on this next lap. So let's stick with this. We're going to stick with this here. This is some great action coming from the number 1 and the number 4 car, and this is fantastic news for the 66 Dodge Viper up ahead right now in 7th place in that Dodge Viper, because the longer that these two continue to fight it out here for 8th place, the more opportunity that Dodge Viper is going to have to gain very important time ground, especially now that we're under an hour to go here in this race. So things are spicing up. You know, the drivers are going to start recognizing, they're going to start pushing, and well, this story is in its final chapter. It's in its final chapter, and it's being written here, and it's going to be, I think, a good one here today. I could feel it in my bones that something exciting is going to happen here just before the end of this race. I don't know what. I can just feel it in my bones. Great battling. I'm just as excited and enthralled right now, I think, as the viewers at home are. I get myself just watching this great battle here right now, wondering what's going to happen next. You know, who's going to crack under the pressure first, right? I mean, is it going to be the attacker, or is it going to be the defender? I mean, oh my goodness, we love it. We love it. This is racing at its finest. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Good hard battling after over 11 hours of racing. We got some cars very close together up ahead here, and I believe that's going to be the 66 car just up ahead of these guys. I mean, I believe that gap's only about 15 seconds, so the time frame is fairly close. Let's go take a look at what's going on here. Yeah, no, I was correct. It was our GT Finland car that I've seen up ahead there. I just seen these two guys look like they were fairly close on our track radar here. I wanted to come and see what was going on, but it looks like the 66 car has gotten around the car there that was in front. I'm not sure which car that was. It was not a positional car, so let's get back to what's happening in behind here. And as we head up the mountain, here we go again. And I mean, it really comes down to, once you get to this point on the racetrack here at Mount Panorama or at Bathurst on the mountain, however you want to call it, it really comes down to just maintaining the gap and closing the gap at the crucial moment. And in this here, it's going to be down into the kink. You want to try and get as close as you can coming down into the kink here. That gives you a good run up in behind the car leading into the final set of downhill S's. And then once you get through Forest Elbow, obviously that's where you want to be. You want to be right on the bumper, on the power. And that's what Jakey's trying to set up to do here. And you can see he's closed himself in through the kink. Now we're through the downhill S's. Try to get on the power early, which it looked like he got down on the power a little bit earlier than the 4 car there. And try to set up a slingshot pass up to Conrad straight here. He's tucked in there. He's definitely in the slipstream. Are we going to see a defensive position here from the 4 car, or does the 4 car feel like he's safe enough here from the attack from the number 1 car as we head around into the braking zone for the final chicane here? And again, Jakey's just going to take a look, get some clean air under the front end of that car, maybe try to see if he can get a little bit of a reaction out of that number 4 car. Got absolutely no bite from the 4 car there, but a great nose to tail here as we head into the final corner. And boy, oh boy, some good action right here in the mid-pack right now. We got a pit stop being made by Apex Motorsports Racing on that team. They're currently holding down 2nd place here. But this is just so fun to watch. We can't leave this yet. We can't leave this yet. I know. You want to see your friends. You want to see what time gaps are. I get it. But we got to watch this. We got to watch this. All right, we'll get a gap between 3 and 4. Gap between 3 and 4 is 29 seconds. 29.29. All right, back to the action. Back to the action. All right, we got a pit from our race leader here as well. So the race leader now making their, what I would assume to be their final pit stop of the race here this weekend. And we'll have to wait and see how that obviously plays out. But it looks like that's much of the same thing here potentially from the Apex Motorsports Racing team. We got Alien Esports now 34 seconds in behind 2nd place here. And we'll come and do a quick run through once we see some pit stops happen here. We got 30 seconds separating 4th and 3rd. 224 car from Alien Motorsports, 999 car, NWR. Again, hoping to see a pit stop maybe from that car up ahead there to get that time back and make it. That would be real close actually. That would only separate those drivers within 5 seconds. I would think. We got Project 1 Racing up 20 car here sitting in 5th place. Lots of time in between him and 4th place right now, minute 13, but only 8.5 seconds separating himself from the number 73 Elite Racing Squad BMW here in 6th place. And then we've got our 66 car here, a minute in behind them. He's got about 15 seconds to the good over the number 4 Portugal All-Stars and number 1 Esports Race Asylum. RX-8 and Porsche here, who are still battling it out here for 8th place on the racetrack here again. Did much of the same thing there as we see in the last couple laps. The number 1 car just closing up real tight up to Conrad straight. Maybe a little bit of strategy coming here currently right now from the number 1 car. Keep tight, apply pressure. Maybe a mistake comes from the 4 car, allows him position to get around and or stay in behind for as long as you can, as long as the pace is good, and save some of your racing car for a final push maybe. Say last 10-15 minutes of the race. Hard to say what's happening here, but we'll continue just to stick with this here for a minute, as Jake is very, very close here up the mountain straight. So there is an opportunity potentially for him to try and make a pass here. And obviously we don't want to miss it, but he does opt just to sit in behind the number 4 car. So with that being said, we'll take a look at the rest of the field as they're going through that mountain section right there. And 13 seconds separating the 54 Mercedes from that battle happening up in front there with the number 1 and number 4 car. Great news potentially here for my team Esports, as the more they battle, hopefully the more time that they can bleed away and maybe even make that a potential 3-way battle for 8th place here. We got Alien Motorsports now coming into pit lane, and that's going to be great news for the 224 car and NWR Motorsports there as well. So is that right? They are, yeah, they're the 4th place guys. Almost thought I had it wrong there for a second in front of Motorsports here. Still sitting in 11th place and only 7.5 seconds in behind the 54 car. So I mean, we definitely have some potential battles developing here on the racetrack. And for some reason, it keeps skipping 12th. Don't know why. It might have something to do with the disconnect. 26 seconds in behind here. So this is our, who is this? Right, our number 7 Sector 7 Blazer car here. Sitting in 12th place, and then we have our Feel Good Racing team here now sitting in 13th in the number 303 Dodge Viper. So let's get back to the action here. Oop, wrong car. as we're side by side, and there, yeah, see, took too long. Oh, and we're going to see a defense here from the number 4 car, so I'm just going to wait to see if we're going to see an attack here no, we are not. All right, let's go see if we can get another look at that. Oh, good, excellent, fantastic news. Thank you, camera guy. You gave us a good time. So good run out of the forest elbow there and right up the Conrod straight using Slipstream here. Definitely got the run right there. You can see how good of a run that number 1 car got on the 4 car side by side, giving the inside position, though, essentially to the number 4 car, but had to make a decision there with the amount of racetrack got available to him. Had to try and make the pass on the hard angle, and because of that reason, I think the number 4 just managed to edge number 1 out there and came back on here between the number 1 and the number 4 cars. So the battle ensues between Portugal All-Stars and the Esports Race Asylum cars here right now as we head up the mountain, and we are going to just sit with this here again, as this is where the action most certainly is right now on the racetrack. We almost missed it, ladies and gentlemen. We almost missed it. That is some great racing right now between the 7th and 8th place cars, or 8th and 9th place cars here on the racetrack, needless to say. Absolutely fantastic battling here between these two gentlemen here behind the wheel of their respective machinery. And far from over, I'm thinking here. This is some great battling here. All right, so as we come back around, it is a good run there from the number 4 car this time. I don't think we're going to see the number 1 car get that run that we saw last time around. That created that potential battle for position here heading into the chicane. Definitely not. We're just going to see that number 1 car just be able maybe to get close enough to apply some pressure, and that's about it heading into the braking zone here. So again, it's just a game of cat and mouse here right now between these two drivers here on the racetrack, and which one of them is going to make the first mistake, which one of them is going to run the wrong direction, you know. And I guess we're just going to have to wait for it all to play out. I mean, is one driver going to over push too much and roast their car too quickly? You know, are they compromise the durability of their car for the remainder of the race now that they're battling hard? You know, are they anticipated potentially having a 10, 15, 20-minute battle on the racetrack with their strategy? You know, there's lots of things to factor into this too. So we'll see how long this continues to go on for at the same time. You would think as defending champions, you got that urge to have as many positions as you possibly can on the racetrack points-wise, but at the same time, as defending champions, you think you're going to come into the races with an understanding and an intelligence of the race as well, being there once already, and I mean, being a very close second in the first season as well. So there's lots of experience under the belt of this number 1 car here coming into season number 3 as well. So yeah, be interesting to see how this plays out between these two guys, because they've been battling it out here pretty hard for the last few minutes on the racetrack. So it's great stuff. It's great stuff. Stuff only the mountain provides, I tell you what. Flash them. Alright, let's see what happens here as we get out of the elbow onto the straight. Right now, the RX looks good coming out here. Looks like it has enough of a gap again. It does appear to be that way, so I think, we're seeing things fizzle down just a little bit there between those two for the time being. Here we got our leader there coming a little bit wide, coming out of Murray's corner there, heading up the mountain straight, and very fortunate there for him that it didn't cost him more than just maybe a second or two and some dirty tires as he heads up the straight there. But another tense moment there for the 111 Porsche. That takes us to our Apex Motorsports car here, second place, minute 14 in behind first place here, and almost a minute gap now over the NWR Motorsports Ferrari are in third place. So with that pit stop from Alien Motorsports, that did give the 224 car the podium back here, that final podium position, but not by a lot. I mean, we're talking 10-second gap here right now between third and fourth place, and we've been seeing Alien Motorsports just chisel away at that gap here all driver swap stint long. So the question is there enough time now to close 10.5 seconds up and make something happen for P3 here for the 999 car? Number 20, Project 1 Racing Porsche here in 5th place. Kind of a little bit off of that podium battle here at the moment. Minute 2 in behind, and then about 11.9 seconds ahead of that 73 car right now. So gained a little bit of time back onto the BMW here from the Elite Racing Squad. And they have a minute and 16 here. 66 Dodge Viper, so no pressure in behind. So really the focus can be on maybe potentially trying to gain position on that 20 car up ahead. Not exactly the same here, unfortunately, for the 66 car. I mean, he's even with the number 4 and the number 1 car battling it out for the last 15-20 minutes, give it off and on here, they are still only 14 seconds in behind that Dodge Viper of the 66 car, the GT Finland Racer. So I mean, he really hasn't been able to take advantage of all that hard battling between the Portugal All-Star team and the Esports Race Asylum team here, and now we're seeing this settle down a little bit here. 3/4 of a second gap here in between the two. We've seen a little mistake made there by the number 1 car that created a little bit of contact with the wall there, so we'll have to see how that affects them as they continue through the racetrack here in that battle. But again, you know, you got to make tough decisions when you're in those scenarios. The timer's running out. You need to try and get the position. You're defending champions. Like I said, you feel the obligation to get as many positions as you can, but you also know you need to be smart and not compromise your car to get the car to the finish. Hey, you know, there's tough decisions that Jake has to make there. Maybe he's realizing, and you know what? Hold on. Let's just back it off a little bit. Let's just play nice here for a few minutes here, and wait for a better opportunity. Maybe it's hard to say, but a little bit of a mistake nonetheless with a little wiggle there we see in dirty air, and hopefully it doesn't cost the team too dearly there. All right, our number 303 Dodge Viper here from Feel Good Racing as well, currently sitting in 13th place, 3.5 minutes in behind our number 7 Sector 7 car. Again, just no love for Sector 7 today, apparently. I mean, I don't know why I keep skipping over these guys. I hit 12 and it goes to 13, then I hit 13 and it goes to 13. See? 13. Rigged, can I say? Alright, our race leaders here. I love all my racers. I try to give as many camera time as I can when I can. Yeah, P11 starting to gain under 10 seconds here now as well. Got lots to keep an eye on. I mean, there's not much happening up here right now. We got to give the love, obviously, to the front runners when we can as well. But, you know, a 10-second gap separating 3rd and 4th place here. We definitely got to keep our eye on that. I mean, 13 seconds is nothing to shake a stick at here between the 20 and 73 cars. Kind of got to keep an eye on that, but I mean, we definitely need to keep our eye on this. 1.8 seconds now separating the two here, so the battle has definitely settled down a little bit. Number 4 car starting to get an edge on the number 1 car here as well. So, but I mean, 14 seconds, 9 seconds. I mean, we got lots of very small, tiny gaps here in the mid pack, and anything can happen here. Like, it just takes one small mistake. So we'll be keeping our eye on that for sure. The 10-second gap isn't much here at Mount Panorama, without a question of a doubt. But fastest lap, 201.102 of the driver's session here. I'm not sure what the overall fast lap of the race is either. I haven't actually been able to find or confirm what that is here today, and mainly just because I missed the first half of the race. Normally I'd know that information, but the race started very early for me this weekend. All right, 23 cars looking sharp here. Moving, grooving, 224 car. It has their work cut out for him here. They got their work cut out for him here. That 999 Mercedes just continues to nibble away, man, bit by bit. I mean, they're hunting. They're on the prowl. They're trying to close the gap. I mean, they've got 18 laps to do it here. So time is of the essence at this point. How hard can you push before you take too much out of the car to continue to gain? Or I mean, so many things that go through your mind now at this point in the race. Number 20 car, like I said, minute in behind, has a cushion in between himself and the 73 BMW. 73 BMW, no pressure in behind right now. I mean, it's focus on that gap up in front here, and 1.4 second gap here between the number 4 car and the number 1 car. So again, things have settled down a tiny little bit here between these two racers here, and maybe a little bit of that sketchy moment there from the number 1 car potentially has something to do with it there. Just decided to back it off here for a little bit, but great racing here so far in this final couple hours of the 12 hours of Bathurst, presented by International Racing Organization. Appreciate the organization for putting on such a amazing endurance series here, and now in its third season, and it's been some great racing here so far this season. So kudos to the racers and the teams that are putting in a lot of time and a lot of effort to come out and compete at the wee hours of their mornings and during family time on the weekends, and putting things aside to come and hang out and really show off their skill here for everyone. I mean, huge shout out obviously to our GT7 affiliates as well. You know, the World Tour guys that are here this season. I mean, it's huge to have such a variety of skill and top tier talent in behind the wheel of the cars here in Split 1 this season. I mean, Split 2 is so fast as well. I mean, two great sets of racing divisions here this season to really take on the endurance challenge. And I tell you what, it's not easy, it's not simple, and I think that even the guys at the level that these guys are racing at on a regular basis would even sit here and tell you that this is not an easy feat. And I mean, it takes a certain kind of focus and concentration, and I'm just trying to think of the right word here. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Professionalism, I guess. It's not really the word I'm looking for, but you know, it takes a lot of things to be in a position that, you know, our race leaders are in, or our number 23 car is in, or our number 24 car is in, potentially our 999 car, putting pressure on that for the final few laps of the race here as well. I mean, you know, it's all about precision, it's all about patience and being calm and understanding the task at hand and executing, right? And it's not an easy task to do when you're spreading that task amongst multiple drivers in multiple different conditions. So, you know, great job to all our teams here so far this season, and this is going to shape up to be a pretty crazy racing season this season, the way things are looking here right now. Again, looking to have 3 completely different podium finishers here compared to round 1, which is going to completely shake the standings up heading into round 3. It's going to be good racing this season. I can feel it. What's up, JP? How you doing, brother? Full send, Cicino. Nah, full send. Alright, everything's settled down here for the time being. I mean, we're within a pit stop window essentially right now for some drivers, probably. Some drivers have made that pit stop and are now good to the end of the race. Now let's just let's see what happens here. Alien Motorsports Mercedes, I mean, they're pushing. I mean, they are doing everything in their power here to close that 8-second gap up here. And I mean, they're definitely not leaving anything on the racetrack here right now. We got a tiny little rub on the wall right there. You can see the sparks flying from the mirror, making contact there. I mean, these guys are not letting up a millimeter on that loud pedal here. I mean, they are trying to maximize every mile per hour they can out of this Mercedes here right now. They've been closing the gap up consistently for the last hour and a half, and I mean, we're getting down to that crunch time now where it's go home, go big or go home, and I gotta tell you, the 999 car is ready to go big. They are pushing, and they are pushing hard. Alright, number 20 car losing touch a little bit with the pace of that 999 car up ahead as well, but again, still maintaining a really good pace on the 73 car, continuing to open that gap up. Again, the 73 has nothing to worry about in behind right now, but the number 4 and the number 1 car still in a good, healthy situational and positional battle here for currently 7th place overall, as I'm assuming the 66 car GT Finland racers had to make a pit stop there and have come back down in 10th place of the field here. So Inferno Motorsports right now sitting in 9th place currently here on the racetrack, 12 seconds in behind that battle going on for what's 7th place right now. Moving back down to the 66 Dodge Viper of GT Finland Racers, again just making a pit stop recently here, down into 10th place from 7th position. So we'll see if A, there's any more pit stops ahead of them, and B, how that works out for him here. Again, the Dodge Viper is one of those cars that forces you a little bit of off strategy due to how heavy the car is and how much fuel it eats up with that V10 engine. So you really gotta have flawless runs in that car to really maximize the potential in that car. And even then, you know, sometimes it's still not enough. You gotta do what you gotta do. But it's the 54 Mercedes here, My Team Esports right now. They are 4 seconds ahead of that 66 car who's just come out with some fresh skins and X amount of racing fuel, and we do have a little bit of a car in trouble here. So I guess the question is, what choices does this team have to make now, carrying a small amount of damage on the race car? And do you make the pit stop to fix it at this point in the race, or do you just continue to take the X amount of seconds per lap you're going to lose due to that damage? It could be very minuscule, it might not be important at all, or it could be significant, but it is going to allow Shadow to continue to pull away here now, unfortunately, and got a blue flag situation in behind him there too as well, so you're gonna have to deal with that shortly. We've got the Sector 7 number 7 car here currently sitting in 12th place, 24 seconds in behind my team, and that could be important as we lead up into the end of the race for them. If they choose not to pit and assess that damage, it could be very close at the end of this race between these two cars, depending on the time loss. If they do decide to pit to fix that damage, then that would most certainly put the number 7 car up ahead of the 54 car on the racetrack before the finish of the race. So there is a little bit at stake there for the 54 team now in what decision they opt to make there. And Feel Good Racing, who's still about 4 minutes in behind here, our 12th place car currently, and I'm surprised at the live timing is showing that. That must be a change within the game that I didn't notice until now. So, not gonna lie, that's a fantastic change. Checkers or wreckers. You guys are horrible. Horrible. You just want to see body panels flying, don't you? Alright, so our 111 car is cooking right now. They got the gap almost back up to that minute 30 here, so minute 19 right now. They're sitting on purple lap, 2-minute point 937, so they have improved on their session's fastest lap since the last time we noticed it, and now it's in the 2-minute range here. Are we going to see that 159 here today? I don't know, maybe we've already seen it, but guess I've got to wait to find out. Ooh, wow, 5.6 seconds now separating third and fourth place here, so the 224 car maybe in trouble a little bit here. I mean, there is still like 14 laps remaining here on this racetrack today, and that gap is now down to 5.6 seconds. So look out, ladies and gentlemen. I think we got a couple of good potential battles here leading right into the end of this race, and this one's a big one because this one is for that final podium position. And I mean, boy, momentum right now on the 999 side, it seems like, as they continue just to chip away at the 224 of the Ferrari up ahead. I mean, full send, right? That seems to be the general consensus in the chat. Just send it. So 999 cars most certainly just sending it. Flag situation here. This looks like this actually looks like 5th place trying to lap 6th place. That's what it looks like. Nope, it's not 6th. Alright, wasn't sure which driver it was. Alright, so the gap here is starting to close back up again too as well. The number 4 car and the number 1 car here are back within slipstream distance of each other again here. So number 1 car starting to force the issue or close the gap up a little bit here again now as we head up the mountain straight. Things are getting very interesting. I mean, what can we say? 0.6 of a second now as we head up into the mountain entrance here. Turn number, well, essentially it would be turn number 3. I think that's turn number 2. I think actually it's turn number 3 here. Then that takes us into the cutting and the quarry section. So this obviously being the cutting section. It cuts through the mountain right here, and then you head up into and essentially out of the quarrying wall, essentially, right? I mean, cutting and quarry. There you go. Leads us into the more high-speed section of the mountain here, where it starts to flatten out a little bit. And so far, no kangaroos or wallabies have been hurt in this 12-hour production here at International Racing Organization, so the wildlife also being very cooperative here today. We do appreciate that. Obviously, nobody likes to, hurt the local flora and fauna here while we're racing this amazing racetrack. So, but great battle starting to brew again here between the 4 and 1 car, and oh man, it's just great stuff here right now. We love this. We love to see the great battles right at the end of the races like this here, and boy, there's some stories to finish here, and they're not quite there yet. All right, let's keep going through the field here. We'll come back to this. Just bear with. Inferno Motorsports is closing in on this battle here. That is a note. That gap was 14 seconds. Now that gap's down to 9.4 seconds. That's a 5-second gain here for Inferno Motorsports. I believe that's a 27 car BMW here on the racetrack. So that is something to note right there. 5 seconds gain now since battles recommenced between the 4 and the 1 cars here. So that also means that the 66 car is gaining here. He's only 6 seconds in behind Inferno Motorsports, and then there's only 9 seconds separating the 54 car from the 66 car here as well. And the Sector 7 car is about 22 seconds in behind the 54 car here, now losing a little bit of traction on that car there. They were gaining there for a little bit, but now seem to be losing just a little bit of pace with that group. And then we've got Feel Good Racing here, still hanging it out there. Their team's giving it everything they've got here in that Dodge Viper. But race leader, minute 22 over the Apex Motorsport 23 Porsche, who have just under a minute over the 224 of NWR Motorsports. They're starting to feel the heat here, I think, a little bit, because boy oh boy, that 999 Mercedes is closing in quickly. Just a couple of laps have gone by, and that gap's now down to just under 4 seconds. So potential battle commencing here for third place in over the next couple of minutes here. We're about to really keep a close eye on that and what's going on right here between 7th and 8th place. So we're going to do a little battle jockey in here for a minute, as we got 2 potential great racing battles starting to brew here on the racing track. It's been a fight for that number 1 car to try and find their way around that number 4 car here so far in this last stint, but boy, it has not been without effort in vain. I mean, a great battling between these two here, and I mean, number 4 hasn't just been fighting with the number 1 ERA team here today. They were fighting hard with that 66 car of GT Finland Racers there as well at the beginning of this driver's stint. So I mean, the number 4 car has been literally basically battling it out all for the last 110 minutes here on the racetrack. They've been just hard fighting, having to worry about defending, having to worry about the positioning, having to worry about all these things. So really great job here from the Portugal All-Stars team, because they've been under pressure for almost a couple hours straight here so far today. Whew. A little bit of a tense moment coming up the mountain, coming out of the quarry there, up through the cutting into the quarry section right there. I mean, we've seen a little wiggle coming from the car there, and everything looks okay from that moment there. Doesn't see any worse for the wear, except for a little bit of lost time, but that lost time is so crucial here right now with that Mercedes just closing in behind it. I mean, if we jump on board now with the Alien Motorsports crew, I mean, they can see those tail lights now coming up over the mountain here. I mean, they know they're close. They can smell that podium right now. I mean, 2.7 seconds, and it's just cool, calm, collected right now and behind this Mercedes too. You don't see them overdriving the car. You don't see them pushing because they're closing in. You just see them maintaining what they're doing. They know it's working. It's closing up the gap. They still have a little bit of time on the clock to their favor here yet. They don't need to force anything right this second. So they just keep working on closing it and closing it. Maybe they get an opportunity a little bit sooner than they're anticipating. Maybe they're setting up for a final lap dash. We don't know what's happening here in the minds of the 999 Alien Motorsports crew right now. But what we do know is they are in the hunt and thirsty for third place right now. And again, another 10th gain through the corner there. And, a 10th here, a 10th there, 2 tenths here. It's a battle before we know it. Back to that battle for 7th place here. between the number 4 and number 1 cars, still only separated by about 2 car lengths right now, we'll call it, here as we continue to head towards the end of this lap here at Mount Panorama. And boy, it is getting spicy here at Mount P. Alien last the podium. Hey, look at that, would not, hey? Alien Motorsports last the podium right now is what we're seeing in the chat. So the fans are rooting, you know, they got that behind the scenes support vibe coming in, you know, that big vibe, that extra feeling you get as a race car driver, you know, you just know it. You just know your fans are screaming, going, come on, come on. You can tell. You can just tell. Great fight right here. It was so hard to leave this battle for 7th and 8th place right now. I mean, these guys have been fighting real hard here over the last 2.4 seconds now, separating those guys up for 3rd place. We'll stick with this here, but definitely be keeping our close eyes on that. Right in front of Motorsports, trying to take advantage of that hard battle that we're keeping an eye on. I decided I better come back and check this out here too. I see 7-second gap between the number 1 car here and this 73 car, or not 73 car, 27 car, pardon me, in front of Motorsports here. I mean, 6.8 seconds, but that also means the 66 car is coming too. Again, 7.8 seconds, so he is losing a little bit of pace right now with that BMW up ahead, but the BMW is still gaining time here on the 1 and 4 cars. So potential 3-way battle maybe here for 7th place developing for sure, maybe even 4, but we're stretching out a 4-way battle, I think, there, ladies and gentlemen. But it'd be shaping up to potentially end up as a 3-way battle here near the end of the race right now, as the number 1 car just can't seem to quite get it done there around that number 4 car. And I mean, battle, definitely giving it everything they got behind that number 1 car, that is for sure. They are driving their butts off right now. All right, 1.8 seconds now is that gap for 3rd and 4th place. Oh man, this is such a bad problem. This is such a great problem to have as a commentator. Which battle do I watch first, right? At the same time, it's kind of a bad problem to have because we're probably going to miss something happen on one of them potentially, but we're going to stick with this the best we can here. These guys are not making it easy. They're not making it easy. You really think some flashing is in order? Oh boy, nose to tail here now is the number 4, number 1 car here as we head up in through, out of the cutting into the quarry here. And oh man, I mean, what a race, what a race. I mean, we really gotta kind of keep our eye on it there. 1.5 seconds to gap. I mean, Alien Motorsports is closing. I mean, it's inevitable that we're gonna see a fight here. I think for 3rd place as well, but oh man, this battle for P7, P8 here throughout this last couple hours has been incredible. I mean, the number 4 car, like I said, kudos to the driver in behind the wheel this stint, because man, he has just been under fire the whole time that he has been behind the wheel of this car in this last, well, about 110 minutes, maybe 105 minutes or something like that we're at. Yeah, that takes some concentration, some skill right there. I mean, hats off to that gentleman right there in the number 4 car. But boy, oh boy, that number 1 driver, I can't take anything away from him either. I mean, he's fighting some pretty tough circumstances here to try and get the job done here as well. And no give up in this driver here clearly today, as he is right on top of this number 4 car, but again, just not quite close enough to make anything happen here into the chicane. Let's get to the final, that final podium position here. Now we're within a second here. So again, coming out of the quarry out of the cutting into quarry is a second, 1.2 seconds here now the gap. So the Ferrari here got a little bit of a better run up into the mountain here. Now as we head in through, oh, I can't remember. So it's such an easy name right there too, into Skyline. We know what this one is at least. And right down the mountain here, I mean, 1 second is nothing here. It's going to come down to who gets the better exit run now out of Forest Elbow into the Conrod straight between these two. So Get to sit right here for a minute. It's so hard to not want to go back to another battle, but I mean, in one corner we can see this become a literally nose-to-tail battle, and a little touch on the wall right there, I think, from the 224 car. So very fortunate right there that the Mercedes didn't quite get to run out of the corner that they were probably looking for, but they are closing the gap under a second here now. And oh man, what do we watch here? We got to watch this battle here first. I mean, this is battle for final podium here. Oh man, Chad, this is some great racing right here from the International Racing Organization. 2026 round 2. What's round 3 got in store for us? Oh, can't wait to talk about round 3. Round 3 is going to be a doozy. Game on. All right, we're within striking distance here, so it is battle on here for third place between NWR Motorsports and the Alien Motorsports teams here. And these are some hard-fought battles. We are literally so close to the checkered flag at this point here. I mean, almost 12 hours in the books for all these teams, and it comes down to the final few minutes of this race for some of these groups. You can't ask for anything better. You really can't ask for anything better. Good, hard, right to the checkered flag battles is what we always like to see. And boy, I tell you what, these teams are prepared to come and give that to us this season, aren't they, ladies and gentlemen? GG's up to these racers. Fantastic racing here. But it ain't over yet. I ain't hearing no fat lady singing, so this race is not finished. And that's just in a rhetorical sense, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to get myself in trouble now. Look at me go. That just gives you an insight into how old I am, I suppose, that phrase. It goes back a little ways. What can I say? Alright, nose to tail here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, what else do we say? He's obviously got to pick a side here. He's got a great run. Obviously, he's going to be forced to the outside of the initial S's, but that will give him the inside if he can hold it on the outside. But man, this is such a tough pass as the outside car here. Let's see if the 999 Mercedes can make it happen here. This is tough battling right here. The position does give the advantage to the 224 here heading into the sector. The 224 does defend the position. He gets a little bit wide on the exit here, boy, and it is hard battling here right now for third place. 224 now heading into Hell's Corner here for the first time. Gets into the corner, able to take the racing line. Mercedes just being patient here. The 999 crew not making any forceful decisions here, and they're just going to settle in. They know they have a little bit of time left on the clock here still. It doesn't need to happen right this second. That was a great opportunity they had coming up to Conrad straight there. It didn't work out. Now waiting for the next opportunity. So as we head up the mountain straight, are we going to see this happen leading into the cutting? We'll have to wait and find out here, but we're going to stick with this here as we continue up into the mountain. And then we're going to go check on that other battle here real quick while these gentlemen head into the mountain. Oh, there we go. A little juke right there from the Alien Motorsports team. And oh, a semi-bite there from the 224 car. Ooh, we got to fight. We got a fight on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I should leave this battle here to check on these two, but they're just as close right now. So we got to stay with this battle for P3 here for sure. Not take anything away from the number 4 car defending champions here, but this battle for third place, Alien Motorsports has absolutely pushed this stint to get into this position. I mean, it's, you know, this is what they've been pushing for. Now they got to try and finish the job here. So let's stick with the storybook, potential storybook ending here for this 999 car here today. Oh, big moment there for the 224 Ferrari, and that might be all that 990 car needed right there. Is going to be a defensive maneuver here from the 224 car. Again, he's going to cut that optimal line off, but the Mercedes is just going to tuck right in and get as much speed as you can here now. And again, forced on the outside line here is Alien Motorsports. Can they make it stick this time? As we head around the kink here, everybody, we are dead side by side. A little touch of the tires right there as we enter into the corner, but again, the advantage does belong to the 224 car there. And boy, that 990 Kayak 9 tried to hang it out there on the outside that time. Really tried to hold the position, but there was just enough car with the 224 ahead there to just snicker his way back in. So a little bit of touching, a little bit of contact here between these two as they're now fighting hard for that third place position. And it is now sweatfest on here behind the wheel of these two cars. It's all on the line here right now. One mistake made by one of these drivers could potentially ruin both these drivers' races all at the same time too as well. So the execution really needs to be flawless here to get this job done and hold off. It's one thing to get around this 224 car, and it's trying to get around them. And once you do get around them, if you do get around them, then you got to try and make sure they don't get back around you. I mean, there is enough time left in this race for a counterattack if this pass happens soon. But the way things are looking at 224 is having none of that. It is going to be defensive all the way. Going to quickly come back and check on our battle here, and this is now a three-way battle. No, it is not. Is that a three-way battle? It's potentially a three-way battle. No, it's not. We got a blue flag car in between them currently. All right, back to this P3 battle here, and boy, oh boy, it all comes down to the final 5 laps of the race here for this final podium position. First and second place should be able to breathe fairly easy here, but these two guys, they're working right now here as the timer continues to just dwindle down here at the 12 Hours of Bathurst 2026. Boy, oh boy, what a finish it's going to be. You know, season 1 had a pretty good bang to the end of the race in 12 hours as well. You know, great race finish, great battles right to the checkered flag. 2026 is not going to disappoint us either here by the looks of it. So, GG's, fantastic racing here this weekend. All right, keeping an eye on this. Again, that Mercedes gets the run on the Ferrari. Again, he's going to try and take that outside line. I mean, that's what he's left to work with, but he's going to actually break early. He's going to look for the over-under here. Nope, he's just going to settle right back in behind the 224 car here, and again, just cat and mouse games right now. Cat and mouse games. Going to see a defensive posture coming from the 224 here. Going to make sure he protects the inside line and does keep him ahead there as they come through Hell's Corner. But I tell you what, that 999 is not going to let this go. He just tucks right in behind, lets him know that, yeah, we're not done yet, mate. We're not done yet. We're still playing here. And he's going to continue to apply the pressure here. So, I mean, fantastic stuff right here. Let's get it. Let's get them racing. One driver on the defense, one driver on the offense. It's all on the line for that final podium position. Oh, and we're going to see an inside defensive posture here again from the 224. And I mean, not surprised to see that. Obviously, there's lots of heat on that rear bumper right now. And going a little outside, taking a look here. Are we going to go side by side through the cutting here, heading into the quarry? No, I think it was looking like it there. Maybe just a little bit, again, mind games, cat and mouse being happening here right now. But we were side by side leading into the cutting there. And now as we head up into the quarry, you know, it's a car length separating these two here right now. Go check this back out. Still very close here as well. And this is Jelly Racer now in Inferno Motorsports right there in 8th place. So they have managed to catch up and get around the number 1 ERA team and get themselves a position. And now they're hunting for another position themselves. So Inferno Motorsports up a spot here very late in the race. There's so much going on here. There's so much going on. Oops, wrong car. Just checking on the lap situation here. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. So interesting. It looks like the 999 car appears to have just backed off slightly. Now, is this part of the ploy of the games, the cat and mouse games, the strategy? Let him feel a little bit more comfortable up there, and then when he least suspects it, try to make the attack again? Or I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but let's take this opportunity to get through the field here quick. Got a minute 16 separating first and second place here, so OVO Esports here in the racing lead. Apex Motor Racing, or Apex Motorsports, pardon me, here sitting in second place, currently 1 minute 10 seconds ahead of that battle we're currently watching between NWR and Alien Motorsports. Nothing quite brewing there, so we're going to try and get through this fairly quickly here. We got P1R not really in any trouble right now, much of the same for the 73 car. Number 4 car is now under fire from Infernal Motorsports, a 27 BMW. So again, no relief here. They got rid of the number 1 car, now the 27 car on the rear bumper. The 66 car also positioned with whatever happened to our number 1 car here, and then we move down to the number 1 car here and is in 10th place, but 10 seconds in front of 11th place. So things are not working out so well here currently for the number 1 car. It is confirmed in the chat there that there was a spin from the number 1 car here during that battle, which is the reason why they've lost the position. So unfortunate to see there. Definitely some damage on that race car, but was damage on that race car all through that battle with the number 4 car as well. So when I say that the number 1 car was driving their butt off, it was no joke. They were driving their butt off, and oh no! What a moment right there. Under the braking, absolutely loses the car underneath of him there. And, oh no, that is going to be it for that fight for 3rd place right there. Oh, that is devastating right there for the 999 car. And hopefully we can take another look at what happened there as they were leading into the chicane here. And the Mercedes was in behind here. Not sure here. Yeah, it looks like we're going to... Oh. Little bump draft there leading into the kink, it looks like. We come around the corner here. Wow, they really gave us a good replay there. And just hard on the brakes, and it just looked like that with a little bit of dirty air there. I mean, the car just started to get that brake wobble, and he just absolutely spun out there. But great job keeping it out of damage. But highly unfortunate there for the 999 cars. It looked like that was going to be shaping up to be right to the checkered flag battle, but now 10 seconds separating the NWR Motorsports team and the 999 Mercedes there. So too hard to tell if there was any contact or anything there, but from what I could see, that was just straight brake wobble, and the car just went. He just lost control of it just a little too much there, and went for a little ride off into the edge of the track there. So super unfortunate for the 999 car. Intense moments right there. Not what we expected to see right there, but I mean, hard battling, and the attacker cracked under the pressure there before the defenders. So still sitting in 4th place, still with a minute gap. So I mean, it's not all lost there. It's just a mistake, but only potentially for the 1 position there. So it could be worse. It could have been worse. Most certainly could have been worse right there. All right, so the number 20 Project 1 racing car here out in 5th place. And really, I think that ends the battling. We've got Infernal Motorsports managed to get that last final position over the number 4 Portugal All-Stars Mazda there as well. So the 27 car managing to find 2 quick positions here in the dying laps of the race here. Now move themselves up into 7th position. So persistence definitely does pay off right there. The 66 car is closing in on, I think, a blue flag car right there. I'm not sure. Yeah, it is. It is the 13th place FGR team car Viper there, and 11 seconds in behind that number 4 Portugal car. But there is a little bit of damage here on our GT Finland race car as well. Jakey here in 10th place, still 10 seconds over the My Team Esports Mercedes here, and has been holding that 10-second gap since whatever happened to the number 1 car there. My Team Esports here also carrying some damage here into the end of the race. Lots of cars here showing signs of wear and tear here now as we head into the dying minutes of this race. We've got the Sector 7 Blazers car here in 12th place, got 13 seconds to the 54 car, but looking like struggling a little bit. They were just absolutely pushing, not really sure what that was there, as they're using all the racetrack there for sure. And then our Feel Good Racing team, number 303 Dodge Viper here in 13th, and unfortunately for our QRT Esports Audi there, mechanical failure there about 45 minutes into the racing stint there, which put them behind the wall for the remainder of the race, and unfortunately for them won't finish here today to take the checkered flag anyways. So you hate to see it, but race is concluding here just like that, just as quick as it starts it ends, ladies and gentlemen. 12 hours goes by in a blur. I gotta tell you what, it's going to be the OVO Esports team here that are going to take the 12 hours 2026 Bathurst trophy here from the International Racing Organization, and some pretty important points right there for a race victory here this early in the season. And we are going to most certainly see 3 different podium finishers here this weekend compared to round number 1, so that is going to tighten up our standings, shake up the way things look here for split 1, and definitely lead us into a spicy round number 3, I think. Ooh, great job to the number 111 Porsche here. It was just the one real big mistake there in that final stint, but didn't seem to shake them one bit at all as they cross there to take that checkered flag. It's going to be the number 23 Porsche here, about a minute in behind here in second place, and we will sit with our number 23 car here now to the end as well, as he says, heading down the mountain here in towards Forest Elbow in the Colorado Straight, so about 40 seconds away from finishing his lap here. And a very strong second place finish here from the Apex Motorsports team, and I believe they were one of the teams that made a switch leading in from round 1 to round number 2, and it looked like it was the right call there for the 23 car here. Without confirming that that's the case, there was 6 or 7 car swapper upgrade changes from round number 1, so half the field essentially made a change. And I do have all those cheat sheets, but with all my devices handling stream chats right now and the stream, I just don't have immediate access to that information right at the moment. Ooh, a little bit of a spicy exit out of the S's there. But heading into Hell's Corner here, and it's going to be a second place finish here for the number 23 992 from Apex Motorsports here. I mean, great racing here. 224 NWR Motorsports will hang on to third place. They're held off the battle here from the 999 Alien Motorsports Mercedes. Unfortunate there, but boy, what an absolutely crazy fight that they gave us here at the end of this race for that final podium position. We're going to see the number 20 car come across here in 5th position here today. He's actually going to cross just in behind that number 1 Porsche there as well, so number 1 Porsche going to take their finish there, and it's going to be a 5th place finish for Project 1 Racing number 20 car. That leads us to the number 73 BMW of Elite Racing Squad. They're going to take a very strong 6th place finish here today, 21 seconds in behind that Project 1 Racing Porsche, so they were closing a gap, I believe, there as well. That takes us to the Inferno Motorsports, grabbing 2 positions late in the race there. Number 4 car, absolutely great race by the Portugal All-Stars, finishing in 8th place after all that hard fighting. That takes G2 Finland Racers into 9th position, ERA into 10th place. And I'm not sure, we'll have to go take a look at the rest of the results here, exactly how that finished out at the back end, exactly as it probably should have. The My Team Esports finishing in 11th, the number 54 Mercedes, of course our Sector 7 Blazers, the number 7 car in 12th place. Feel Good Racing should overall take that 13th place finish with that mechanical failure of the QRT Esports Audio. Unfortunately, they're in that final stint, and GG's to all the teams, a 2-minute .756 being the fastest lap of the race there as well from our group here. So overall fastest lap, I'm not sure how that compares, but definitely some quick laps here from this racing group. Not quite under that 2-minute mark, but bear with me here. We've got to go join our podium interview area, so bear with me here for a moment as we get over to that.
So, can anyone hear me? We are still waiting for GT 45 gaming. Bear with us. So I guess 2 hours later, and we are still sitting here waiting. Again, using some new software in the background. So hopefully we'll get this sorted at some point. But while we are waiting, I think AMS Super S2K is in here already. So I can't hear you though, buddy. Not sure if your mic is working.
My mic was muted. I was waiting on
I don't hear you. Oh, what's happening? Let me see.
Hello. Okay.
Well, I see you are talking, but I don't hear you. Arg. That's unlucky. Let me see if I can do something on my end here. Oh, it's all set up correctly from what I can tell. So I see your camera in the preview. That's fine, but unfortunately the voice is not coming through. Yes. Hey. So now I hear you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
That's way better now. Okay, perfect. So I guess you're the only driver brave enough to join the interviews. So whoops, the other team's drivers or even our lovely GT45 gaming having some technical difficulties to find the room and whatever. Nevertheless, let's start with your race. P2, what a turnaround from Daytona, right? So you were a bit left in the dark, I think, after Daytona. You knew, like, with the Porsche, it wasn't like the best car for the first race, but yeah, great turnaround for you guys. So let's talk us through your race.
Well, first off, we're based in the North America, so we had to get really early to start our stints. So 5 or 6. it was like 5 or 6 in the morning. So we had to get some drivers up and early. It was a little bit uncomfortable for them. So the beginning was a little bit interesting. And then by the end of the first stint, I think it was already like a minute gap to first, which was quite big.
Yeah, Antonio was like flying like crazy. It was massive.
So we're just kind of playing his game at the moment. We're going to try to see if we can find anything else. But other than that, we had a really clean race. Not a lot of issues, no damage. Maybe a little bit of nicks on the wall here and there. But to be honest, it was a really well-driven race. Minimized the mistakes. That's how we kind of kept the gap pretty much the same since stint 1. But overall, yeah, I mean, strategy was good. All of our drivers did an amazing job. And again, congrats to Team Ovo and Lewis's team, which I don't know the name of. But yeah, overall, good race.
Yeah, I think you can be happy with that P2. And yeah, I think the next tracks are also looking quite good with your car, I think. So we saw like that Porsche 911, that GT3R looks like a really good car, especially for endurance races, right? So it should be fun. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about the tire allocation. So what was your approach to this newly added rule now for Bathurst with the limited sets? So what were you thinking? Who gets the push stints? Who got to use the mediums or whatever?
So initially with this race, you had enough mediums to do. Basically, you can include a medium in 4 stints because you had 4 mediums allocated, and then you had 9 softs. We also knew that the soft stint was the fastest one, so we wanted to put our fastest driver, AMS Defson, on that strategy because he loves this track. He's amazing. He's an amazing driver, but this track is his, this is his track in our eyes. So we decided to put him on that strategy. And in terms for the medium soft, we just put, let's say, your quote unquote average drivers on the medium soft. It was kind of like a good all around strategy in terms of tires. And we also did a soft because it's better than doing a soft hard, because the hard tire is absolutely garbage in this game. I don't think one person, maybe some Vipers, maybe used a hard tire, but no one else wanted to use one. They just don't work around this track. But I did like the tire allocation. It involved like a different kind of strategy. You have to also think about what you're doing. Like, let's say if you get damaged, you can't change tires and then go again. You lose that opportunity. So again, a lot of like thinking involved, and it was a good thing to add, and I think so. It's gonna see what it does for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's nice to hear, and also was some of the intentions, I think, from the organization to do something different for this year. And yeah, I think maybe with the upcoming tracks, so maybe we are forced to use the hard tires for some of the stints now because of the tire wear. I think will be a bit heavier on the upcoming tracks compared to Bathurst. But yeah, we will see. We also need to gather some data in the admin area to see what about we will do with the tire allocations. But yeah, I think for also the spectators and everyone, it's a nice thing to have, and definitely an interesting addition to it. And yeah, as you said, so it's like you kept it clean, no real damage, so that's why you could stick to your plan then with the tires and didn't have to adjust like some other teams. They had to then find solutions. So I can remember a stint 1 where the Ferrari Miu he had a big incident crash, and then he was forced to use another set of soft tires. He was pushing towards the end. So this was probably something that might have hurt them towards the end of the race then as well, but that's the trade-off.
Yeah,
probably for those races. So yeah, a long 12 hours at Bathurst now in the books, and next up it will be a different kind of animal, right? The 8 hours at Brands Hatch, like a narrow track, old school track, not many overtaking opportunities. That will be a bit different, but also like if you're off, and the damage is a real threat at this track as well. So should be interesting, I reckon. But I think you're in a good spot with your Porsche, and I guess good luck for you and of course to everyone else in the competition. So yeah, I think we touched upon it throughout the entire broadcast. So it's crazy to see the amount of talent that has entered this year's competition, and yeah, tough one for all teams, I think, to be competitive, to fight for wins. So we saw like in Daytona, now Bathurst, 3 different teams on the podium. But that's still interesting for the season, right?
Yeah, it'll be fun. The competition is high, and that's what's going to make everyone else go faster, because competition breeds competition. So
nicely said.
at Brent's Hatch, if not at Brent's Hatch, we'll try the next one, and we're just going to keep trying. So again, I appreciate Jaeger for everything. So yeah.
Thank you for joining, and I think that no one else will be joining us then in the commentary booth from the other teams. So this was all your stage. Then thank you for joining the little interview section, and I think we will get that up and running for the upcoming rounds. So it's also like it's nice to talk to you guys after the race and get your impressions. All right, so that's then I think the end of this broadcast. So again, an interesting 12 hours. Also, like some of the difficulties we had during the broadcast. Sorry for that. Couple of hiccups and stuff, but yeah, we are learning and hope we get things ironed out throughout the season as we go. So I'll just, I think, bring up now the schedule for all of you here. Let me see if that works. So yeah, 8 hours of Brands Hatch. Then we are looking at the 24th and 25th of April then for that race. So yeah, until then, thank you all for watching and hope to see you around then for the next stream. Have a great rest of your weekend and see you soon. Bye bye.